I think we should wrap up maybe talking about, because we've been talking about shows, bringer shows. We should all detail the worst we've ever bombed on stage.
Ooh, I'm down.
What do you think, Pancho? You got does one come to mind? I feel like one should.
Let me think on that one because there's been a few.
Leo, I haven't really heard you talk about.
I got a big one.
You mentioned one where there were Bachelorette haters in the audience.
It was first of all, it was like I had done maybe right before the Bachelorette, I had done a year of stand up, so I'm super green. Obviously, the only thing I had,
and you weren't doing videos with me yet.
Nope, wasn't even doing.
Not
videos
much
with
practice being funny.
Can you let him tell the story? Because you're like guiding it through. Just let him. Tell
He's my gay lover, dude. What the fuck?
Dude.
Yeah.
So I go to a bar with my chick, and we're having like chicken wings, and this lady's like, "Oh my God, you're Leo from The Bachelorette," and she's like, I have a comedy show tomorrow. Don't you do comedy? And I was like, yeah, I do. She's like, why don't you come by? It'd be great. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. Fine. So I come the next day, and all of a sudden I'm getting dirty looks from like 40% of the audience. It was like half the room was these kind of like not cute girls. They were kind of like fatter, like 40-year-old women, no makeup on, glasses, and they're just looking at me like badly. I'm like, what the fuck?
Definitely watch The Bachelorette.
Definitely watch The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
What venue again is this?
It was a place called Tequila, and it was like spelled in a weird way. It was in Sherman Oaks at the time. It's gone now.
Did it have a stage?
It didn't have a stage. It was just like a bar. It was a bar show.
And I feel like it's way easier to bomb at a show like that. Maybe
the acoustics are bad.
Yeah.
Everything was bad. So she doesn't tell me. So a couple things went wrong. She doesn't tell me how much time I have, and she also doesn't tell. And then as soon as I went up, it was clear that these women were there just not to laugh at me, and then they would heckle me. About once every minute, they'd be like, what do you think about feminism, Leo? And I'd be like, I was just like so green, I didn't even know what to say. I was like, it's cool. Like, I was like, what's going on?
Damn. So you were trying to make them like you.
I should have
gone
like,
too far.
Shut the fuck up, you ugly bitch.
Yeah.
And, that would have been better.
Because Leo's specialty now is crowd work. Like he does great improvised sets.
It's good stuff.
And he warms up the crowd when they're ice cold. He's the first guy up, which is really fucking hard to do. Like Leo gets a lot of respect from other comics for what he does.
Thanks, brother.
But back then when you didn't really have a comedic identity, I could
dude.
see you like trying to please them.
I was, dude.
Yeah.
And it was so bad, dude. And it was just like, and I had my chick who had just started kind of dating with me. And I was like, of course she was nice. Like, oh, you did so good. And I was like, that's making it worse.
I remember when I bombed really hard, and it was a certain joke that I did, and it was awful. I was at some place in OC. It was like a Rick Thorne show at some bar that opened up, and it was mostly white people, and then one black chick, one black woman that was like everyone knew her, and she was married to like a white dude there. And I did some joke. What did I say? I was like, I said something along the lines. I'm like, where I talked about cops pulling you over. I'm like, yeah, with my handicap pass, I can go anywhere. I don't get pulled over. Blah blah blah. And then I said something about like that they don't want to fuck with a midget. They don't want to fuck with a cripple. There's no action in that for them. They'd rather just go shoot a black dude. But I did this joke in front of my black comic friends, and I asked them, they're like, you're not shitting on black people, you're shitting on a cop.
Exactly, yeah.
But the black women are different.
Yes,
black
they
women
are.
think about it like they think of their kid.
Yeah.
They think of their husband, their brother, their dad, or whatever. And it got so fucking quiet in there. And then when I was doing my short bus stuff, like talking about like how I should have been on the short bus.
Sure. Very funny.
Which is fucking funny, right?
Yeah.
Dude, they were not feeling that. And I thought like maybe they had kids that might have been like on the spectrum. It was just bombing, just like bomb.
Yeah.
Like, just,
No laughs, like zero laughs.
just zero laughs after that other one.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just because, but it was, you're green. You're green.
Right.
When you first start, you're trying to be more shocking than funny.
Right. Yeah,
And
totally.
then you don't know how to create a joke. And
Totally.
you're doing these fucking mics at the fourth wall where you can get away with that shit.
You can just
and then
say,
you go
like,
do it in front of like
You
an
can just like
audience.
say the N-word and the room will die at the fourth wall. Like, and like you do develop bad habits. You do develop bad habits.
It's
there.
crazy.
I'm exaggerating. a lot.
That's
an exaggeration.
Yeah.
I actually
But
seen these
that's an
Bakersfield.
exaggeration.
But the F word that rhymes with maggot, you can say that one in there.
And like it'll kill. Like it's
that one kills.
Yeah,
There's funny. It's funny because there's comics that are different from all over. But at the fourth wall, there's these group of comics that show up, and they're from Bakersfield, and they've fucking they've thrown out the N word. Like,
Really?
Where
Yeah.
everyone's just like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
Joe Manente will go up and be like, "Hey, good set, man. You should probably not say that one
Yeah.
for the show, you know."
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be. It's tough now, but like, I mean, Louis C.K. had some genius bits using it, but obviously, it's got to be a really smart bit, and I don't think you could even do it now. I think we're past
think
the
it's
point where you
worth
can
It's
do
just not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The payback, yeah, it's not.
Agreed.
All right,
But
you're worse.
I think though, Pancho, that joke it was not too offensive. It was a too sensitive of a crowd. I will blame the audience, even
If they just took one thing out of it, shooting a black dude, and that's it. They
Yeah.
didn't even listen. Once I said that, the rest of the joke didn't even matter.
Yeah, the target of the joke is police brutality, not black people. So I don't think you committed a foul. My worst bomb was definitely when it was at Jimmy's show.
I was there.
On a
Jimmy
Tuesday.
Shin?
Jimmy Draxler.
Draxler.
Okay, Jimmy,
Remember where
okay.
we had? I don't know if you ever did the one across from Jaquili's in that outdoor space. We're getting that one back on Thursdays. We'll get you on that one too.
Yeah.
So this show is outdoors, and it has possibly the worst acoustics for any comedy show ever. Laughs just disappear into the ether. There's no roof. There's no real walls. And so when you're on stage, nothing gives you confidence and momentum like laughter. It's fucking like, I don't know, fuel or fucking Mountain Dew to a fat kid. You can't hear any of that. So it's already hard enough. And I started out, I was going like real over the top, like real physical, just fucking committing to my bit, like talking shit to the neighbors in the apartments above us.
Oh my God.
But like in a funny way, like people liked it. But then like one chick who's just like a hot girl, like a girl who came to LA just to be a hot girl. She's like, I'm hot. Like, I can make money in LA.
OnlyFans. Yeah.
She comes out and like they don't understand that like the show isn't about them. Like they think that they can just talk to the comics and like they should have like all the laughter and attention should be on them because they're a hot 22-year-old in the front row. So she is like starts talking shit to me. And like I don't know how to deal with a heckler yet. Which I mean, I still have a lot to learn. I'm sure I'm still gonna have a lot of bumpy interactions with hecklers.
Same, man.
But she, like, I try to like stay in the comedic energy and like keep the fun level up. And I'm like doing all this physical stuff, like rolling around on the ground. And she's just being mean, like just fucking mean. And like I'll be like, well, you know, like I'm just here like cracking some funnies. I don't remember what I said. And she's like, well, yeah, you're ugly and you're broke. Like that
like
kind
bad.
of
It was bad.
And like I'm so caught off guard that this girl can be such a fucking bitch that like I had never planned for the contingency that like Satan with a vagina is gonna be in the front row.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like, so now I would just completely drop the charade and just say, like, the meanest fucking thing, like, in my head to shut her up. Like, because she fucking deserved it. Like, 100%. Like, she fucking opened fire. But, and I even, like, called out for Leo for help. But Leo was occupied with something else at the
Yeah.
time.
With his big penis somewhere.
Yeah, his uncircumcised fucking...
He was like, he didn't know
Lock it
where
up.
to put it.
You lock it
He was
up.
like, do I put it on the bar stool? What do I do?
So she ate you up. You got off stage and you didn't know what to do.
And, like, yeah, just,
And
like,
she-
awful. And
How was she afterwards? Did she have the crowd? Did the crowd
No.
connect to her?
the crowd, I mean, they hated her,
They
too.
didn't like
Okay.
her, so
But,
that
like,
was good.
But
So,
I wasn't...
But she took the attention away.
Yeah.
So they weren't laughing at you either.
But yeah, they weren't laughing at me either, for sure. No, and even if they were, it was like a couple stoned fans of mine in like the fifth row who I couldn't hear laughing.
got
So
it.
I like my cavalry never came to save me
Yeah.
because I couldn't even hear anybody who was laughing at what I said because of the acoustics. It was so bad that all I could muster when she walked out was I just called her a dirty fucking whore to her face as she walked out of the fucking building.
Yeah. So, hey, man, we had to do what we had to do, you know?
So that is like my all-time worst bomb, and it just felt like my soul was freezing over as it happened.
Well, since Wee Man said that he hasn't really bombed, I would like to request maybe your favorite Jackass story.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
I was
you
thinking the
I
exact same
do
thing.
have, no, it's not even a Jackass story, but I went out one time at a comedy club. I just showed up to watch it, and I was fucking wasted. They're like, no, come out on stage. And I came out, and I'm like, I said something funny that the crowd laughed, but I had a beer in my hand, too. And I have no clue what I said. Crowd was fucking laughing, and I dropped my beer at the same time. Exploded. My buddy said it was like the funniest shit I've ever done on stage. And I don't even know what I was talking about.
I could see that. Dude.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then another thing, it's not even being on stage, but it's kind of being on stage, and it's kind of the opposite of what you did. Buddy of mine went to, same guy, we went to a strip club, and it was packed. It was like a Friday night, 9 o'clock at night. We'd already been drinking. We're at a strip club, and I'm like, dude, I got to go. This place is too fucking packed with too many fans. He's like, okay, I understand. And I start walking out, and people start following me. And as I'm walking out, I'm not even outside yet. People are like, dude, punch me in the face, punch me. I'm like, no, dude, no, not here.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
They're like, come on. I'm like, well, let's go outside then. And people heard. So I brought the whole strip club outside. We're waiting for an Uber. My buddy's watching the Uber. It's like 5 to 10 minutes away. And people are like, come on, punch me in the face. And strippers are outside with like just mink coats on, covering them up. They're like, yeah, this is awesome. Blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, I'm wasted. And I fucking don't even hold back. Boom, knock one dude. He's like, shaking his head. Another dude, boom. My buddy's tripping out. Grabs me and goes, dude, our Uber's here. We got to go.
Yeah.
Puts us in the Uber, takes a good, and then like the next day he goes, dude, you know what even happened? And I go, no, what happened? He goes, dude, you emptied a strip club. Like you took the show away from strippers. You even brought the strippers outside
That's
to watch
wild.
you punch two dudes in the face.
I wish we had someone for him to punch in the face on the pod, dude.
I mean, with Fez, maybe? No, Fez is...
Nah, I
he's
don't
right.
punch anybody in the face anymore.
Unless you're wasted in a
No,
strip club.
yeah. I'm too sober to punch somebody
But
right
do
now.
you have a
One of
favorite?
Steve-O shows with one of your stories and stuff where it's like where you're like, fuck.
No, but no.
Nice.
Well,
When you
must
have your
be
fans,
nice.
it's got to be
Yeah.
like that's a dream come true.
Well,
2,000 Jackass fans.
But it's that, and then it's the stories I have. I can make old people laugh. You know what I
love
mean?
that.
And he's comfortable.
And they're all
on stage.
Jackass stories.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, no, they're life stories.
Okay, life
too.
stories,
Like
too,
I could
okay.
tell life stories. And people
I thought with the Jackass people, they want to hear like, oh, what happened behind the scenes.
they want to hear those,
Yeah.
but they also want to hear even like real life stories. They want to hear like that we're real.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know what I mean? We're not just superheroes. We're actual people. You know.
How many times do you think you've been on stage doing stand-up?
Oh Jesus, I can't even count.
So a
All
lot.
right, so a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it probably helps too. And this has helped me a little bit that we're not starting out as complete anonymous open micers who are measuring themselves based on every joke they tell.
Oh, I don't measure myself at all.
And that's
I
why
come-
you're successful.
I come out there and I'm just like, whatever happens, happens. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
But here,
good.
here's the thing too. I've been to a show, one of Jay Davis's shows, where he'll have like headliners and like really good comics, and then he'll put up like a super top-notch influencer chick that's a comedian,
Sure.
and she'll just go up there and bomb.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like everyone will do good, and she will just bomb, but she looks so good that
But
he's just like, you gotta have a hot chick up there. I'm like,
No.
but where's the fine line though? Like
Yeah.
all these people are paying money.
Yeah, I feel bad when people pay money. At the haha, to be honest, we give away about 85% of the tickets, so it's like they're coming for free. They're gonna have to buy the 2 drinks or whatever.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
whatever happens, happens. And if
Yeah.
Danny wants to get hammered and pull a chick on stage and make her flash the
I don't
crowd,
get hammered at the shows.
No, I'm kidding. No, you didn't get hammered at the show, but I'm saying the girl was hammered. But you had the girl came up and showed her titties. I mean, you had some titties.
I was at
on
an
stage.
open mic, and I'm not going to mention her name, but we were at an open mic at the Fourth Wall Cafe at like 8 o'clock, and there was this comedian chick that started bragging about how beautiful her tits are,
Oh wow,
Nice.
and then one of the dudes was like, "Prove it," and she's like, "Okay, I only do it once," and she showed her tits.
Oh,
How were
my
they?
God.
They're actually really nice.
So she talked the talk and walked the walk.
They
Hell
were
yeah.
really,
And
really
flash the
nice.
flash.
Boys, they were nice.
Dude, I'm gonna get her name after.
Yeah, fucking Leo, keep him away.
She actually,
Nah. Danny too, dude.
She's
He's-
had really nice tits. That's all I gotta say.
That's
Yeah.
What do you
that was
consider
it.
nice tits? What do you consider nice tits?
That's true. There's a
discuss
category
this.
because it can be giant sloppy ones. Those are great tits to some people.
like a nice big C cup.
Okay.
Well
A
shaped.
nice big
What's
C
the
cup
areola
That's my
like?
favorite
with
too.
really nice nipples,
Like-
not huge areolas.
Right.
Pepperonis?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe like little
Yeah.
pink nipples.
Yeah.
Or areolas, like,
Yeah.
but like just kind of perky, but like not saggy because
Yeah.
she was young. You know?
Hell yeah. That's a fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the fourth wall. I want to do, my main channel is like vlog based, and I do sort of like research projects and like semi documentaries. I really want to do one in the
Thanks
next
for having
month.
us on your side channel. That's awesome.
Well,
We didn't know that.
We're like the side chicks.
Well, we want to get. I mean, it's cool.
Don't tell
'cause
anybody about
you
this
guys
again.
have a podcast, so being on ours, hopefully, we get some people that want to listen to yours.
Absolutely.
But if we would be honored if you guys wanted to do something for the main channel. I'm
Yeah.
sure Danny would have. Dude, he's probably got 50 bits for you guys in his head right now. If you guys want to do some YouTube shit,
Oh, is that where you guys do the fucking roller
Exactly.
blade, punch somebody?
Yeah,
exactly. That's
Snow goggles or something.
yeah. It's where
That's
that's
more
where we get
his
most of
thing.
the
That's
pussy.
your Jackass.
That's our
2.0?
Jackass.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, got
Exactly.
it.
But I want to do a video on the fourth wall, and I want to follow a couple of the comedians there because some of them fascinate me. The people who have been doing it for like 20 years.
like who? Like Ira Russo?
He would be a
Yes,
fascinating
he would
character.
be great,
I
yeah.
like how you immediately knew who would be like super
Did
fascinating.
you make his comic list?
I don't
Like
think
the
so.
best 100
I doubt it. No.
He does a comic list every year, the best 100 that he's seen.
in LA, and
yeah.
and like maybe a quarter of them aren't even really comedians.
Yeah, they
What
do
the
a couple
fuck?
mics.
This guy-
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would like to do him, but I
It's
also
still funny people, though.
some of them are just like huge comics too. I don't know if it's supposed to be up and comers, but I'm fascinated by the vibe there because like Poncho definitely knows it's always like 100% men or one girl who shows her tits, and it turns into this like Fight Club style thing where like we get up there and just the foulest shit you could ever imagine comes out of our mouths because there are no couples who are sensitive about you talking about their sports team or who came to have a nice night out and enjoy a glass of Chardonnay. It's all just animals.
Where is the fourth wall?
The one that I usually see Poncho
Cafe.
at is the one in North Hollywood.
yeah.
Oh,
that one's-
it goes to different spots.
Yes.
It's a
He's
traveling.
got two
Okay.
spots.
And the North Hollywood one is like particularly vulgar.
Got it.
And it is like I need to like not only like document those live shows at the fourth wall. I want to go meet some of the most obscure fourth wall comics, and then I want to have a real stand-up show with a big audience and give some of our favorite guys like an opportunity who have been doing open mics for years and years to like hit a real fucking show. And like that'll be the storyline.
Well, that's kind of what I like about you guys too, though, and what I like about a lot of the comics, especially the ones I've been doing it for 3 years and started going to like the Hollywood comedy, the Ha Ha, all those mics. And I gave myself like a year before I even started doing shows to kind of see if I liked it, figure out my voice, what I want to talk about. And it's kind of interesting to see the dudes that are still in the game from when I started and see the progression,
or the lack thereof.
or the lack of like, dude,
Yeah.
like, or like the lack of like, you haven't figured out that you're just not funny yet.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes, yeah.
and it's a hard line because, like this is a fucking hustle.
It's a hustle, yeah.
It's so strange. Like, I was talking to somebody about this weekend, like how much of comedy is nature versus how much of it is nurture. Like, how much can you learn? And I'm convinced that it's very, very learnable because there will be guys that go up at our shows who, if you talk to them at the bar after the show, like they would not strike you as a comedian. They're just like, oh, thank you. That was, good. Like, but they're just like the way they write jokes, they're fucking great and they murder rooms. But then again, you'll see people like you're referring to, Poncho, who have been in it for fucking decades and who don't know how to write a fucking setup punchline. Like there's just no form to what they're doing on stage. Like they're just talking and nothing is even like smile arousing. So yeah, it's hard to know how much is you can learn and how much is just you're not a funny person.
And that's the thing about like even with like the show that I did where I told you it was majority women. Like 4 of them were really good, but the other ones were like really beginners, and we've all been there.
Were you at the
course.
YWCA?
No, and we've all been there, but like I always feel with like the Bringers show is like you're charging people to come, you're charging your friends to come,
Right.
Everyone's charging their friends to come, and then they have to sit through a bunch of people that were like it almost frustrates you
It
to the point
feels
where you want to
terrible.
punch something.
Yeah.
Right. It feels terrible when the Burger shows at the beginning are really tough because you're like, oh my God, I really have to invite my friends to this. I don't know how this is going to go. They might laugh at me, but nobody else is going to. You know, I was happy as soon as I figured out that I could produce my own shows. I was like, oh, I'm just going to do that. Then I'm going to give everybody free tickets, all my friends. And then like, if the club sells some tickets, they're not going to know me. So it's not like that personal. But as soon as I figured out that I could produce my own shows, me and my buddy started doing one at like at a car wash, you know what I mean? Just to get those reps in. And I would just like do crowd work at the car wash, you know, with 15 people that would show up and get slowly better like
Further
that.
proof you're a Mexican and won't admit
You
it.
piece of shit.
So now you do.
Wow, that's
do the
I mean,
Jackler show.
Yeah, I do that. I produce one with Jimmy at Jaquila's, this restaurant.
Yeah, I know,
and-
I did that
Yeah, that one. That's the one you did with me.
show.
It's a good show, right?
Jaquila's?
It's a good little restaurant show. Yeah, it's a weird name, right? But Jaquila's.
wait,
Yeah,
what
no.
was the
On
car
Taco
wash?
Tuesday, they do it.
Taco Tuesday, dude.
Car
$2,
wash,
$2 taco. The car
it's
wash was
a free wax job and a couple punchlines.
You know the Fashion Square, the Sherman Oaks. It's right next to the Fashion Square. It's like the Armenian run, and we would sell like $15 tickets, and that included a fried chicken meal that they were making at the car wash. It would become a fried chicken place at night, and like they would have lines out the door. So sometimes we would get people that would come in just from getting chicken. They'd be like, "Oh, there's a comedy show, what?" And they would come over.
Wait, where exactly? So car washes are usually like a little like liquor store with a register. You pay your tab, you get your ticket that your car goes through, and then they dry it and you pay it, you go. Where would you be doing the stand-up?
So it was like they had like an extra big lot in the back.
Okay.
And then they had just some extra space. So it was like people had to go deep into the car wash into the back. And then we had a little stage set up with some chairs.
Next to the air
Waiting for
fresheners.
car to get washed and shit.
Oh, it was so late at night. The car wash was closed, and it was just like a chicken place at
Okay,
that point.
cool.
It was a very Armenian, shady little thing going on. It was pretty cool. Yeah.